As Michael said, my name's Char. I'm using she and her pronouns. And for those of you who might require a visual description, I have cane road braided hair. I'm a woman of colour. I'm wearing a purple plaid shirt and I'm sat in my bedroom with a lamp behind me and a cushion beside me. In my day-to-day life, I'm a teacher, a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and peak performance coach. My background is in law and I have some gay jobs too. Oh, I'm going to turn my audio up because how's that? Is that a little louder? Can I have a thumb up? Oh yeah, I love a good thumb, thank you. My gay jobs, I work as Head of Education and Wellbeing for Birmingham Pride, and I work on education and inclusion for UK Black Pride, and I also write for Diva magazine. My biggest perception of the world that we live in is that at the moment we have a difficulty connecting to ourselves and in turn connecting with each other, and that holds us in a space. So today I'd like to try and help you connect to yourselves and each other through some guided meditation. We're going to start with some grounding from David and then go into some movement. Please forgive me, I am suffering with hay fever, which is why I'm not going to be doing the breath work, but David's going to lead us in a lovely breath work at the end. I literally have only just got my left nostril back. So if you're in the UK and you've experienced hay fever, please, I will accept all of your empathy. I'm going to hand straight over to David for the grounding, and then we'll go into the next section.
Thank you, Char. Hi, everyone. If you've not met me from earlier this session, my name is David Kam. I go by he, him, and those requiring a visual description, I am an Asian, specifically a Southeast Asian, male presenting. I am wearing a red top against a blue background that's of mountains or rivers. And what I do is very much everything related to movement, everything related to body. I always say that if you can use words to describe everything that you feel, there's no point in needing to move, which is what I'm hoping to share with you in this short pocket of time in between all the deep conversations and discussions we've been having. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. If you're happy to join me, come into a comfortable seat. And when you're there, find your feet against the ground, very similar to what we did this morning. And once you get there, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Now, if you'd like something slightly different from what I've offered earlier this morning, I invite you to place one hand onto your heart and one hand onto your gut. Now, once you arrive in that space, take a full breath in and a breath out. Now, once more like that, breath in, breath out. Now, as we come back to our body, take this first few seconds to let the food land, to let any words or any conversations you've had from earlier today land. In the same way, you can feel your clothing land on your skin. We revisit this visual of our body in its vertical axis from the feet up to the gut, the heart, voice, head, back up to our intention. By using this as a quick route to be back into this body scan, I'd like you to think about maybe one moment from this event so far that is sticking with you, and you don't have to overthink it, just whatever comes up, whatever surfaces. And whatever that is, think about that in terms of the body. How did that make you feel? Maybe it's a word, maybe it's someone's gesture, a topic. And when I say, how did that make you feel? Examples could be, I feel warm. I feel a sense of broadening in my chest. I feel my breath slow down. Now, the sensations that arise, take this time to actively capture every detail of it, knowing that this is a memory that your body now has. And whenever you would like to revisit this sensation that might quite likely be pleasure, know that it's always safe within you. We take a full breath in here. A breath out. Taking as much time as you need, slowly blink open your eyes. I'll pass you back on to Char for some intention setting.
Audio, David, can you let me know? Okay. We often talk about a chosen family when it comes to our community. So, hello, soul siblings. That's how I think of you all here today. You've all actively taken the time to connect with yourself. Give yourself a wiggle or give yourself a squeeze and then do that. And let's get back here. If you feel comfortable enough, I'd like to invite you now to take a conscious breath in and close your eyes. This is about intention setting. And we've set lots of intentions throughout the day. We set them before we arrive. We set them throughout each activity. And if we've been present enough, we might have reflected back on what that intention was and checked in to make sure we're on track. So as you close your eyes and you just let that intention sit with you, I invite you to relax your shoulders and bring your attention to your throat. Perhaps you need to swallow. Perhaps that area's a little tight. And bringing your attention to your brow and just relaxing, making sure we're not frowning. Just letting go of any extra thoughts. And as you sit with yourself and you begin to slow yourself into your natural rhythm, I want you to think of these words and finish this sentence. I came here to explore. I came here to learn. I came here to celebrate. Whatever it was that you came here to do, just let that land, and perhaps you can visualize that word in your mind's eye. I came here to love. I came here to connect. And as you've been through this journey of exploration, you may have already accomplished part of that. You may have already started to get to explore and discover what you actually came for. Perhaps there's a sense of pride in that. We could finish this sentence. I am proud that I have connected with others. I have reflected on how I reflect. I have been open to learning. That I brought my authenticity here. And as we allow ourselves to feel a sense of gratitude and pride for our existence, for our connection, for the willingness that it took to be vulnerable in this space, perhaps we can think about how we'll be for the rest of this session. Was there a part of the session that you perhaps fell into the old habit of being silenced? You didn't quite say what you wanted to say. When we set intentions, we often ask questions. And this week I've been talking a lot about the quality of the questions that we're asking ourselves. When we're young, we're usually asked what we want to be. As Ben said earlier, no one decided to be an activist. No one decided they were going to be part of the LGBTQIA+ community. We just are. Now that you're a queer leader, it's not about what you want to be. We focus on who we want to be. And so what are those traits that surround you that you will draw on today as you continue this session? Are they kind? Are you courageous? Is it your compassion, your resilience? Is it your empathy? Is it your power? Is it that you're approachable? Who is it that you want to be? How can you embody that as you move through the next few hours? Picture that version of you that embodies all of those traits. The leader that you are. How does that person need to feel in order to behave in a way that is closest to achieving my intentions? How do I interact with those around me in order to ensure that I am achieving my intentionality, that I am living my values as a leader? Allow yourself to slow down your breath. Allow yourself to feel the feelings of completeness, of wholeness, of readiness. And as you create the state that's required for you to thrive, just imagine and feel your breath in your lungs. Start to imagine that as that breath goes in, you become more empowered. And to breathe in our strength and exhale our love. And as we breathe in that strength, we can imagine that that strength comes from the faces that we looked at. And that strength comes from the community that are here with us today. And as we breathe out that love, we can imagine that that love goes back into that community that are holding us. And when you're ready, you can begin to blink open your eyes.
Yes, so we will be moving the body. I think that's always the most direct way to shift the inner states that we experience. And so right now, I just like us to give ourselves a quick wiggle. And if you feel like it, you can just take a quick walk around 10 steps and back onto your seat as well. Anything you need. In the coming few minutes, Char is jumping on the bed. But in the next few minutes, if you prefer, you can absolutely switch off your screens as well and focus more on the hearing of actions. I will be here just to visually demonstrate in my body, but everyone can look very different in how you want to approach your stretches. So when you feel like you've had a good wiggle, you've had a good jump on your bed, we come back to our seat and we bring our hands together, give them a quick rub, and try and go a little bit quicker than what you think is quick. to a place where you feel heat forming in your palms. And then once you find enough heat, just enough heat on the palms, begin to bring the hands just behind the back of your neck here and stay there for a while. Let yourself feel the warmth. And if you feel compelled to bring your hands to other parts of your head or your chest that feels like it needs warmth, go there. You can repeat this maybe about 2-3 times. I would really advise those of us who do quite easily get fatigued in the eyes. It's quite a nice one in the eyes as well. So whatever I share is just so you know what we're going to do next. You decide when you want to move on. So when you're done with this, interlace the fingers and bring the hands onto the back of your head. I'm going to be on my side view so you could see. And then once you're holding quite firmly on the back of your neck, begin to stroke your head upwards. Yeah, the elbows are pointing upwards as well. And when you do that, allow the chin to slightly tuck, gaze to soften, and almost trying to notice if you can spot the tips of your elbows by the corner of your eyes. Good. And then we do these strokes again 2 more times, growing a little bit taller upon every attempt. Good. And what I like to think every time I move is a sound that I'm making from inside. And when I stretch up, I think about a slurp. So all the way up. There you go. Now, once you get up for this final time, close your elbows together and allow your spine to round. And then from there, allow one elbow to lift up. And imagine as if you're swimming. Yeah, we're doing a backstroke, but your hands are always cradling the weight of your head. I'm just continuing this in my own time, this idea of a backstroke. Every single time trying to draw a bigger circle. Now, depending on your energy level, if you feel like, gosh, I totally went on a sugar rush over lunchtime, you can make this bigger as well by releasing your hands. You could even stand up and make this a whole body thing. So you decide. Now, if you are here with me, I'm going to stay here with those of you who are here. Continue playing with this. We'll start reversing over to the other direction. So I'm doing the front crawl now. That's it. Every single time the elbow's leading. And imagine as if your arm is beginning from your waistline. So it's long, lovely. So it's not just from the shoulders. Nice. Good. Now, the next time you come back to somewhere somewhat central, grow back into that tall version of yourself. Good, elbows wide. Extend your arms up overhead and start twisting to one side. Doesn't matter which side. That's it. And as you stretch in this place, extend your fingers as if they're like shooting lasers out of them. Look towards the back palm and beyond the back shoulder. Inhale with a slurp again. And as you exhale, stay there. Extend the fingers further. I'm going to do this once more. Inhale. And exhale. Laser fingers. Good. Now slowly guide yourself through the center onto the other side. And if you prefer, you can go back up again so that you can find a much deeper stretch when you go onto the other side. Good. Now when you arrive on this other side, the eyes are drawn beyond the shoulder behind you. Inhale. Exhale, laser fingers. Now for this last breath, I'd like you to stick your tongue out. So inhale. And as you exhale, good. Now slowly come back towards the center. When you're back to the center, interlace your fingers again. Circle the wrist for a little bit. Maybe starting a wave across the elbows. If you want to make it big, you can really play with a Mexican wave as well. Good. Nice. And then from there, release the hands. Give it a nice quick shake. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Come back to stillness. Hands on your knees. Just take a moment here in stillness. Take a moment to process how that felt. Really, really quick stretches. Things that you can always do when you have a second or two across your day. And as we land here, I'd like to finish with a very short breathwork practice. So just take your time to come back to your body in the alignment, head, heart, gut. And when you're there, bring your palms together in front of your heart space like that. And allow the knuckles to part. So you're forming like this diamond shape here with the hands. Now this is a practice called Padma Mudra, which means the hand gesture of the lotus. And upon every inhale, I invite you to part the middle 3 fingers away from each other, like the lotus is slightly budding. And as you exhale, you close back in. And again, inhale, they part. Exhale, they close back in. Yeah. So continue doing this in your own way, and on a practical level, a way of synchronizing your movement with your breath, in and out, in and out. And to those of us who are visualizers, you can absolutely do this with your mind's eyes or with your eyes closed. But imagine these hands being the lotus that's also your heart. And upon every breath, you're allowing the heart to continue to open, to release any unnecessary armor. You're allowing the heart to open in its full 3-dimensionality, the front of the heart, the back of the heart, the sides of the heart, the top and bottom of the heart. And in the way you can visualize this 3Dness, allow your breath to encourage the entire body to also expand outwards as a whole, contract inwards as a whole. Everything begins with the breath and your presence. And how much of your attention can you gift yourself right now before we open our hearts to the others? Now, upon the next time you bud this lotus, allow the fingers to spread open. So it's almost as if this lotus is in full bloom. Again, think back about the lasering fingers, kind of emitting shafts of light out of your fingertips. And keeping that visual, I'd like you to extend this lotus all the way up towards the sky and let the fingers spread wide open to the sides of to the edges of your space, back into the center. And we will do this for just 2 more times, every single time creating a bigger circle. And let the intention behind this be, yeah, what I have inside here, I'm open to give this, to share this. That's it. And this final time you're doing it, let the gaze, your eyes follow. Let your eyes be brought by where the hands are going. Lovely. After this final time, just bring the arms together to give yourself a nice hug, a self-hug, my favorite thing to do when I can't hug others. That's it. And just a nice gentle twist. And as you twist, it's almost like the cradling of a baby. So allow the head to also respond accordingly with you. Good. Lovely. Now, one final stretch just for the neck. Bring one hand onto the top of the side of your head, and allow your bottom ear to just fall a little bit onto the shoulder. Now, if this feels good, stay. If you want to go a little bit further, the other arm can wrap behind your waist. You can stay. Now, if you feel like, I want to stretch in my neck, but not in this angle, think about turning your chin down and back up. And as you move, help yourself locate a specific angle in the neck that feels like, oh yeah, that's a sweet spot. Yeah. Very slowly from here, tuck your chin, looking towards the belly. Then roll the spine back up. We go into the other side. So other arm, holding onto the side of the head, heavy. And then staying down, maybe wrapping the arm behind. If you prefer moving from the chin up and down, just getting the stretch that you need. And when you're done, guide yourself back up.